cars out of turn 4. Put 158 laps on the board this time by. As we keep you posted up at the top of your screen with NASCAR timing and scoring. Further back in the pack, we've been watching the 10 of Phil Parsons in the top 5 in series points, but Phil's been struggling tonight. Some smoke has been coming out of the Channel Lock Chevrolet at various times. Phil inviting us along for a ride tonight. He's right behind Dennis Setzer, running back in 19th spot. Dennis is 18th.
That 10 car has been so consistent this year. It's been able to stay out of trouble like it had problems in the past. Trouble just seemed to find it. Super consistent, and the points show it.
Mark Green has been backpedaling as well since the last pit stop. He's 16th. Setzer 17th, and now gives Setzer 16th spot. So the other Riddling Motorsports entry, the Lance Snacks 43. Setzer, who ran a lot of laps here at late model stock car competition. If you were with us at 7 o'clock tonight at the top of our coverage when we brought you the NASCAR late model stock cars and the Renegades Racing Shootout, you heard us talk a little about Dennis Setzer and his days here in that series at Myrtle Beach. He's got a lot of laps on this racetrack, and it's starting to come into play, I think, a little bit for the Lance Chevrolet as Setzer moves up to 16th spot. Check back in up in front as we watch Setzer and Parsons move through 1 and 2. Meantime, look at McLaughlin. He's closed right in now on the 33 of Fedewa.
Yeah, he's a great short track driver. Well, I guess one of his wins, where did it come? Was it IRP?
He's won this year at New Hampshire and at Watkins Glen, and won at Dover earlier in his career for his only other Busch Series victory. Meantime, we watch McLaughlin. Of course, he's a product of the Northeast short tracks where he was a star for a long time in the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour. We're at Myrtle Beach for a lot more racing. Stick with us. A reminder, you can experience country.com, your personal source for all things country. Race cars to country stars, and even a race day column by yours truly every week. Connect to country.com, your source for all things country. We're live at Myrtle Beach Speedway in South Carolina, the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series tonight. Rick Benjamin, Patty Moise, Phil Venturini, and Mike Hogwood on pit road tonight. The leaders out of turn 4, the 33 of Tim Fedewa holding the point as we check in with NASCAR timing and scoring, brought to you by MCI tonight. Take a look back to the 34 machine of Mike McLaughlin, who is second. He's got his Team 34 teammate right in his mirror. Mike Hogwood, what does the 34 bunch say about McLaughlin's chances?
Well, the car has run absolutely perfect all night long. They have not turned anything on the car. They've just put tires and fuel in. Mike McLaughlin did not want to run this car, particularly this weekend. It's not his favorite car in the stable. It's the car that finished 13th last week at Milwaukee. It did sit on the pole at Nashville, but it is not a car that has been to victory lane. He told the crew, I've changed my mind about this car. I've decided I like it.
Yeah, if you notice here, with the first 4 cars, in Winston Cup, they've got these multi-car teams, and everyone wondered how it would work in the Busch Series. Look at, you've got the two two-car teams running the Busch Series. They're running first and fourth, and second and third.
It gives you the same kind of advantage, more testing capability and more research.
Yeah, you try something on one team car. If it doesn't work, you try something different on the other guy's car. You see how they work together.
And they both do it the same way. If you talk to the crew chiefs, team managers, they're both of those 2-car teams are all under one roof. They share everything.
That's the only way it will work.
Randy LaJoie coming up in 4th spot now, closing back up on Todd Bodine. He was dropping back there for a while, but now he's gathered it right back up again.
Well, after me and Penny were kind of talking about that on break, we're wondering if Randy was cooling his tires off. And I told Penny, I says, nah, I never, in all the years I've raced, I never really cooled my tires off. Just you got a little too sideways.
Makes a good story that then he makes that big run again.
Well, you talk about a driver who's learned patience in the last several seasons. One of those drivers is Randy LaJoie, without a doubt. I mean, I've watched him from the time he started his career in modifieds in the Northeast. We've got a little bit of problem on the main straightaway. The 00 of Buckshot Jones is in the wall. He tangled with Jason Keller coming out of turn 4. Both cars underway, but heavy damage to the 57. Buckshot back underway. He's got a little bit of sheet metal damage on the back end of that car. Jason Keller's machine with a torn off right front fender, or nearly so. So we're under caution here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. 177 laps complete. We've got 73 remaining. We'll show it to you how it happens as Buckshot moves around under caution. Here they are on the main straightaway. Keller looked like maybe Buckshot checked up there, and Jason just got right underneath him.
Yeah, it almost looked like Buckshot was running down on the low groove like he had a problem, and Jason just came up on him and didn't realize it and ran into him.
Well, Buckshot Jones back underway. Whatever the problem was, he got the car refired in gear and up on the speedway. We are under caution, though, as Buckshot rides alongside the White Rain Ford of Jason Jarrett tonight. Tim Fedewa is still the leader. Back with more in a moment. Under caution at Myrtle Beach Speedway, leaders have been on pit road. Elliott Sadler has had his problems, but he may be able to take advantage of all this because, remember, he pitted out of sequence. Now, Sadler showed a lot of peerless pride this weekend. He started on the pole here after a very, very strong qualifying run. In fact, you might say that Elliott Sadler knows how to get around this racetrack with a lot of peerless pride. He's really got a nice technique for finding one lap's worth of speed at Myrtle Beach.
I think the key here is easy in, hard off. This track becomes so slick because of the sand. If you can get the car hooked up off the corner and don't overcharge the corners, you feel like you run a whole lot faster lap. You feel like you're running slow, but the slower you feel like you run here, the faster you're going. It's kind of like a Martinsville. So kind of got used to that, and we seem to be pretty good so far.
It was very good in qualifying. Elliott Sadler breaking the track record and taking the pole tonight. Peerless Pride brought to you by Peerless Faucets, the do-it-for-yourself faucets. Now, Elliott didn't show as much patience once we got racing here tonight. He got into Jim Sauter early tonight, lost the lead at that point, but his pit stop strategy may end up benefiting him. We're going to show you why we're under caution here on lap 181 as the cars work down off the main straightaway. There's Buckshot Jones into the wall. He crossed in front of Jason Keller.
Yeah, we couldn't tell from the first shot, but you can see actually Jason was running down in the lower groove, and Buckshot, when he hit the wall, shot back across and ran into Jason.
Yeah, and it's really, Jason's still sitting on pit road. It really destroyed his night.
A lot of front-end damage to the 57. The leaders have taken advantage. They've been on pit road. Mike Hogwood, what happened down there?
Well, Tim Fedewa and Mike McLaughlin both came in. They pit near each other, and they both had exactly the same pit strategy. 4 tires, full tank of fuel, and absolutely no changes. Remember, Elliott and Hermie Sadler stayed out. They've already made their pit stops. Mike Dillon may have made an interesting move. He only took right side tires. He did make a track bar adjustment. They want track position on the 72.
A lot of drivers wanting track position. Matt Kenseth wanted track position. He did not pit, so he'll be the restart leader in the 17 in the Kraft cheese machine.
Well, he had pitted on the last yellow, which nobody noticed. He dropped back to the tail end of the lead lap. That's when he made his pit stop and put on his new tire.
Kenseth has been strong a lot. He's been up in the top 5 early in the going here, so he may have the race car to contend with.